Speaking of that, we're live now. And apparently, so yeah, that's the last line. Apparently, this is what Josh's version of love is. It's correct. So,
Man, that's beautiful.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to episode 10, our finale for our Embers in the Ashes, Blades in the Dark campaign. A lot of emotion riding high into this. So, I want it to start, but I don't want it to start because if I don't start it, then it doesn't have to stop.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week for episode 11. All right, so I'm going to stop and shut up and hand it over to Mr. Nathan.
What's happening, everybody? I'm Nathan. You see him pronouns, and I'll be the narrator for this finale. I think this episode will be called "What's Love Got to Do with It," in honor of our opening talk there. So again, we'll be going through. Usually, this is where we be doing downtime after we had a score last time, but we're going to jump right back into another score. We want to end on a high note, but we'll see how it goes. Either way, we're going to end it on a big bang. So let's go around and introduce our cast, and then follow up with what we did last time, where we are, what's going on. So, Jacob, do you mind starting us off?
Yeah, everybody. My name's Jacob, Duval King Jacob on the internet. Both Eyes and I have he, him pronouns. Yeah, I'll be playing Jason Eyes, that team we knew. He's got Joseph, he's got Darlene, if he wants to, and things are going really well, but he's scared of doors now, so that's a thing. Thank you, Nate. And yeah, it's a good time. Absolutely nothing will go wrong.
Absolutely nothing. All right, Shauna, can you go next?
Hey, I'm Shauna Nakasone. I am playing Miss Corbin, the team Spider. Things are going good. We got rid of another faction. We got the guns, and we'll see what happens with this finale.
Absolutely. And Saevrick?
They had to talk to me as soon as I was like taking a mouthful.
See, I didn't want to go last because every time I go last, you say I don't want to go last. So
I didn't say I don't want to go last. I don't have to go last.
Gotcha.
Hi, everybody. I'm Saevrick, or Josh, whichever you want to call me. I use he, him pronouns, and I'll be playing Preacher tonight, who also uses he, him pronouns. Let's see. Last time I made a new friend. Thank you, Bonnie, for reminding me of that. Taught to talk to Satara, the demon, which was always fun. And I got a new tattoo, so nothing bad will happen whatsoever.
Things are looking up.
So me and was it Vincent Van Goat?
Yes, I believe so. Yep.
I love that you're the one that named him and you can't remember.
Yeah, I know I'm terrible at this.
I love it.
But we're going to have a good time tonight. Not me and him together, but maybe we'll afterwards. Who knows? You know, I'm not going to say I'm not going to knock it to you.
All right. And next.
Anyway.
Hannah, please.
My name is Hannah, and I'll use she, her pronouns. My character is Miss Fritter, pie to her friends, whom only Elias is, but that's fucking questionable at this point. So
Understandable.
She just had fun during the last score. It was basically just like exercise for her. So however, we left off with her with Bazabaz and the Lamplacks, anticipating the invasion or the impending battle with Lissa that was in progress when we left off last week.
Absolutely. So quick recap, besides what we've gotten, is our crew was tipped off that there were some guns and munitions coming in, that Lissa had ordered some items to stoke up the crows and to bring in some what they needed to take out the Lampblacks and Red Sashes or whoever they feel like they needed to take out. This tip was provided by Salia to Miss Corbin, and ended up not being as it ended up being a maybe a fake tip, but or maybe a plant of some kind, which Salia probably didn't know. So what happens? Our crew went out to the boat, which was totally unexpected on my part. I should have expected that, and yet whatever. We had a little boat escapade where we got around a couple traps, followed the actual boat back in that was dropping off the supplies, and then proceeded to run them down and take the supplies for ourselves. Along the way, Miss Fritter had a epic one-on-one battle. Preacher made a new goat friend. Eyes made a long shot that paid off. Yes, and Miss Corbin took out the last straw, or maybe the first straw, in a new gang called the Grinders that you all hadn't had much contact with. We also got to talking about with the new moon coming on at the end of last episode, Satara was beginning the ritual to come back into this plane in physical form, and as part of that, a preacher made another scarification mark or tattoo on his own body with the knife, with the demon's blade knife that he borrowed from Eyes. Miss Corbin also delivered upon her promise for part of the goods to the hive, and was welcomed in with open arms by Chaos Fame, who is kind of her contact with them. So we're going to, at the very end also, the Crows had launched an impending attack upon Bazabaz and the Lampblacks, and Miss Fritter got drug into that, talked with Bazo, and Miss Fritter went into that, went willingly?
Quite willingly.
Right, sorry.
Deliberately.
I meant got
intentionally.
drug in, I meant like, yes. Sorry. Went willingly to check on Bazo, see how they were doing, and it was not looking too good for them at the time. Off screen, we had some downtime, and each of our players moved all of their harm down one level, erased all of their stress, because we can do that, so we might as well, and then took care of any extra clocks and anything going on. So if there are things brought up that we need to talk about, we may flash back to something the players have said that they've done in order to prepare for this evening, which they've known was coming for a few days now. All right. So anything as we start off this night, it is the next night. It is the night of the new moon. And I imagine very few people slept well last night. There was some jitters and some anxiety. There was some careful planning and thinking by others. There's some of you that may have been looking to see what options you have, researching what options are out there, doing whatever you need to be doing. So again, if you ever want to bring something back, say we'll do it on flashback, and that's not a problem. You know the location of which Satara is at. She's at the Bothing Place. It is a medieval type castle, an old noble family in Six Towers, north of Six Towers. It is an actual mini castle with a moat and everything. Very out of place, but they deem themselves old money and wanted to harken back to that time period as if they lived there. That place has been empty for quite some time now, and they have taken off to another part of the continent, Akros or Aruvi or somewhere like that, and no longer live here. But that is the place that Satara has chosen to have her ritual with the spirits of the dam. All right. So where do we find each of you are you all meeting somewhere first? Are you meeting there? Where do we find you?
I think
Maybe at the usual hideout.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Especially since we probably have a new member, Vincent Van Goat. And...
Yeah, he's the leader.
I'm gonna kill that damn goat if this is what's gonna happen.
So do you meet at the mausoleum?
Sure. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that works.
I mean, with all
Okay.
the pressure and all the eyes that have been on us lately, it might be good to meet someplace that's not our hideout,
Okay.
just in case.
There's empty places within Six Towers that you can find and procure. Basically, we'll say that Miss Fritter sent some runners to find an empty location, an empty old Victorian style house that is been sitting on the market for a long time that you can easily get into and meet. And that's exactly where we find you. This night is darker than most. The fog is super heavy out right now. It's rained for 2 straight days, and now the heavy fog just seems to sit around. There's a light drizzle, a mist in the air. It's like when you walk outside and you just feel wet, just walking around, even though there's no precipitation coming from the clouds. It just feels. It's a little colder. The wind's a little bit nippier. There's a smell in the air that is, it's the wind coming off the ocean is a little tart, and yet there's utterly quiet. It seemed that the impending war that was going to spill over between the Lampblacks and the Crows has been extinguished as quickly as it started. And we'll get to how it gets extinguished in just a little bit. But there is an eerie kind of quiet in the streets, as if people are waiting for it to pop back up. And so there's very little traffic out right now, foot traffic or otherwise. And our Ash Syndicate is meeting for what they hope will not be the last time, but may very well be the last time. Who arrives first?
I think Miss Corbin arrives first. She likes to be on time and kind of observe location.
So maybe you're up in the second floor looking down. There's a candle in the room behind you, dimly lit. You're looking at the passers going, looking to see which one of your teammates are going to show up and who else may be coming this way or that. Okay. What does Miss Corbin look like?
She's wearing the heavy coat that she wears till if she's going to go on one of their more dangerous excursions. So she has that. She has around her neck a spirit charm that she acquired from one of her friends, former spirit warden friends. She's holding that. She's nervous because this isn't necessarily her area of expertise. And specifically, she remembers as a child ghost stories from from the location that we're going to be breaking into.
Absolutely. And what load are you choosing for Miss Corbin tonight?
Heavy.
Okay, absolutely. Who's next? Who arrives next?
I'll be happy to arrive next.
Okay, and how does Preacher arrive? And what do we see when Preacher comes in the camera shot?
He's ditched the heavy coat that he normally wears. So he's just pretty much just with I guess probably now pretty tattered white shirt and vest. Doesn't seem to be in a whole lot of care of how his personal look is currently. But he does have like a gun holster on visibly. So like the shoulder holsters, so they're one on each side. And he actually has like this dagger that Eyes had lent him to look at. He actually just has it like pressed in his palm and like up the back of his arm as he holds it in. He's just walking in just very casually. And his left arm actually is all wrapped up in bandage and it's soaked crimson through at this point. Sort of nods to Miss Corbin as he walks in.
Did I come overdressed for this? I admit I'm not used to this.
I don't know if you say you came overdressed, but I just didn't want to get anything in the way.
Problems before we came here? She'll like she's looking at your arm.
Just a shaving accident, you know.
Miss Corbin,
Happens.
you notice there's a drop of blood that falls from his hand or his arm onto the floor below. And then maybe a minute or two more, there's another drop.
Besides the fact, maybe you should clean that up. Looks like that dressing is run its course. I'll see if I have something in my bag if you want. She has one of her briefcases. The way she clunks it onto the table. It means it's loud. It's probably heavy with implements and whatever she came to be prepared with this.
Well, I'd be mighty obliged to take that off your hands. Absolutely.
Well, wouldn't hurt to have anything that likes the smell of blood, dead or not.
Okay. And who's next?
I could go next. Yeah, Ice definitely is not on time, as per usual. Definitely has to drop the kiddo off at school, and head this way. He is actually wearing a different color trench coat this time. It is actually blood red, with matching vest and with a white collared shirt underneath, and red tie. Thinking that things are going to get very ugly, so he figured he'd dress for success. He's, if you're new, he's got hat kind of like this, goatee, tall, dark, and handsome, about 6'4", 6'5", very lanky dude, and nicknamed Eyes because of his glowing, almost LED light eyes that glow kind of today, azure blue, and kind of opens the door. Afternoon. I think it's afternoon. You never really know. Probably evening. Good morning. I did drop the kid off today, so early afternoon.
Oh, welcome here.
I have something for you, by the way.
I bet you do.
So he slides the blade down his arm, holding it by the metal, and holds the hilt out towards you. He wanted to know what this was.
I do.
It's a relic of sorts. Truth be told, I knew what it was the moment I looked my eyes upon it, but I just needed to take a second longer with it just in case. This is a blade designed, not only designed, but created to injure things beyond this world.
Oh. Take it out. Well, before she gets here, and I throw it into the wall. Assuming it sticks.
It absolutely does.
Well, my wall's dead.
You notice as you take it out of the wall, there is a single drop of blood that comes out where it went in the wall. It falls out as if it was a wound. A single drop of blood falls down the wall and courses to the floor.
Oh boy. Kind of almost like jokingly, like kind of look at the wall and spin around. It's like, did you test this on somebody?
Blade's been tested on me long before you ever owned it.
What does that mean?
Sort of shrugs and finally just starts to undo his shirt. Wraps it down, pulls it around his shoulders. And there's just numerous cuts, old cuts, deep cuts in the back of his back.
And he kind of like spins it around with this.
With that very knife, yes.
Oh, yeah, it's quite the appetite, I guess.
It is insatiable.
Well, let's see if we can get some new fresh meat.
I think it likes
He
the
says that,
taste
but
of
he's
me.
like, but like he says that, but like there's just like a furrowed kind of brow, just like, what the fuck?
And the final piece to our puzzle, Miss Fritter.
Miss Fritter will kind of stride in as Preacher's taking off his shirt, and she'll just kind of stand back at the corner. This is very clearly not a conversation she's a part of, and she's not going to insert herself into it. So she'll wait until they're done, or it seems like they're done, and then she'll just kind of lean in through the door. Are y'all ready?
Oh, you're here now. Miss Corbin has been having like a kind of neutral expression this time. She looks when Miss Fritt's like, she just has like this wide smile. It's like, oh, you're here. That means your errands went well, I guess.
I actually have something for you, Edie. And Miss Fritter is going to pull a locket out of her pocket, and it has an E engraved on it, and she's just going to kind of palm it over to Edie and just kind of like step back from it. Just say, I had always assumed this was yours.
Oh my god. I assumed that she had pawned it or used it for whatever she does. But trophy, but thank you. I'm sure you made her pay for it and everything else that she did.
It was an interesting night. But it looks like we need to deal with this, do we not? Staring dead at Preacher. Like,
He's just now starting to finish buttoning up his shirt. Your name's Edie?
I do have a first name. I just don't go by Miss Corbin everywhere.
Really? I mean, they're both pretty badass, so I'm cool with it either way.
It's just the first I ever heard it, that's all.
Well, in our circles, I don't tend to use it. You have to have deniability, of course.
in our circles, calling a woman by her first name is a sign of the utmost respect and friendship, and it is a privilege that is earned.
I will keep that in mind.
Oh. Yeah, Mr. Dat sounds like a really terrible school teacher, so.
Preacher, you look down as you're rewrapping your arm and realize that it's scabbed over already. There's no fresh blood there. There's no wound that is oozing any blood at this point.
So he'll just take a look at this like jagged, probably fairly terrible tattoo that he just gave himself. Sort of roll it up in his hand and just toss it to the side. How very, very peculiar. Well, so, you got business, yes?
Yes.
Should we see to it?
And you step out into the night. Everyone else choose their load.
Heavy AF, please, and thank you.
That's what I figure. All right. So we step out into the night, probably a block or more away from the Barthane place. You go around the large platform in the center square where just days ago you all rescued Joseph, and make your way around it. Maybe Eyes hangs back for a few seconds, remembering how it all went down and how it could have gone all so differently. Also making a note that Preacher is doing this for his boy, just like he came to your rescue to do for yours. I'm going to roll the engagement roll. I'm going to start out with a die for sheer luck. Is the operation particularly bold or daring? I would say yes. Does it expose a weakness or vulnerability to the target hits where they're weakest? I don't think so. Friends or contact providing aid or insight. I have not heard of any friends or contact that have provided aid or insight. Has anyone used anything to provide aid or insight into Satara or the Spirits of the Dam or anything?
I don't think I would know anyone, so I'm gonna
Okay.
say no.
I just had the wheel that I just finished, but that's about it. I don't know if
Okay.
that really counts towards that, though, in particular.
So we'll do 2d6 and see where we're at.
Hey, it's
A
not
5.
6.
A 5. So we have a success, a limited success, but a success nonetheless, which is going to put you in a risky situation, as you figured you would be. You walk the streets of Duskfall, heavy fog around you, already droplets of perspiration or water dew or something are clinging to your face, your clothes. Your hands are maybe a little clammy because you're ready to take on something that you don't know what it is or don't know how to take it on, but by faith alone or knowledge or whatever you've picked up along the way, you will be trying to rescue a human from a demon's clutches. So we'll see how this goes. The Barthane place looms over your vision in the upcoming horizon. It is a monstrosity of a medieval castle with gargoyles and all kinds. It has a moat and a drawbridge. The drawbridge is down, of course, right now, but it has all those things that at one point in time would have been probably the place to have a festival or ball. Now looks a little run down. There's mold and mildew up the gray scale of the stone. There's vines that are slowly trying to creep up. The moat looks like it's seen better days. It looks like maybe there's even eels or something swimming in the murky, nasty, disgusting water that is below. And as you take your step across the drawbridge, it creaks with age. This petrified wood was alive thousands of years ago and is now dead, but is in undeath life, just like the spirits that are around you. You walk across the black petrified wood and step into an open courtyard that probably had a stable of some kind to house carriage or a carriage house, so to speak. And there's a manor house that sits above you. And in the lights, in the windows, are a single lit candle apiece. Seem to be a few on the first floor and then none above that. What would you like to do?
So just a heads up for everybody. I would just like to remind everyone that we are undefeated in Kid Rescue, and I think we should stay that way. 1, 2, and I kind of put my hand on, on Peter's shoulder. I got you. Let's go.
I turn to Eyes, and I almost whisper it just between the two of us. Keep that dagger close. I don't know what's going to happen in there. That thing might not stay in Ezekiah forever. So you might have to use it against somebody you're not prepared to. Can you do that?
My eyes kind of look towards Miss Corbin. I made a promise.
Yes. No hesitation. This is a demon. You're not going to get that second chance.
We're going to see things that none of us have seen before. And he's probably going to be surrounded by a bunch of dumb-ass university kids that think they're summoning some spirits from beyond. Hopefully they won't get away too much, and hopefully we won't have to hurt them. But if it comes between us and Ezekiah, I don't see why they should stand in our way.
They won't.
I just thank you, by the way.
No need.
Right.
I have a question.
Absolutely. Yeah.
With our loadout, okay? I know that the ones in italic don't count towards our load, correct?
Correct. Yep.
The ones that are in bold,
Mm-hmm.
do they? Why are they bold?
So everybody gets the top two are always bold. They're fine, which means they can either have more effect or better dice,
Okay.
or more dice. So you can roll with an extra die, or you can roll with better effect for a fine weapon or a fine. I think Miss Corbin has a fine bottle of liquor. Everybody has fine stuff. So they roll with either more effect or another die. Anything that's fine. It's like being of a higher tier.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't confuse it with something else.
Yeah, we haven't talked too much about tiers in this because we keep it pretty flat. But as you go up higher, you may be facing higher tiers, which brings the effect of what you're facing against. It's like having a higher DC or whatever, AC or whatever like that.
Absolutely.
Speaking of higher tiers, the demon you're going to face is probably a higher tier.
Really?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Let me check my notes.
Demon.
Yep.
The demon. It's got to be.
Lesser demon.
Yeah, something like that.
Still a demon.
Sure, lesser. Yeah, you whatever makes you sleep at night. Whatever. Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. All right. So who's the first to walk into the doors? There are two large petrified wooden doors that stand at attention in front of you.
I would think it would be me.
Okay.
Just
You're
one
not
of
doing
those
it
like
alone, though.
kind of things, you know.
Behind you.
Yeah, is that Aragorn in
Push the doors
the door?
in,
Yeah.
fucking doves flying out, you know.
Frodo.
Yeah, you expect to hear something, feel something, see something as you open these doors, and you're met with eerie silence.
Should I attempt an attune to see if we can locate where these people might be at? AKA the demon?
Are you asking me or
Yes.
your
I'm asking you.
Yeah,
Okay.
surely you'll find something.
Can I
Make sure it was
assist
cool.
with that?
Absolutely.
You guys just want to burn the whole place down? It kind of looks like it's ready to go.
It's right. No one's gonna know. Like, you know what?
No one's gonna suspect a damn thing.
No.
I mean, escalation 2, maybe. Like maybe we'll just like do a little.
Just keep it in your back pocket.
Wow. I am on point tonight.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
It's a lot
All right.
of something.
So a 3 is a failure.
Should we revisit burning it down?
Are we at
Considering
step 2
it.
already? We're at DEFCON 2 already?
We're at DEFCON 2 already.
I would imagine I'm so focused on the task that I'm just completely out of whack spiritually.
Yeah. So I think what happens is you can't miss that there is a huge spirit presence, a ghost field, ghost presence, ghost world, whatever you want to call it, spirit world. There's a huge presence here. It is overwhelming. You know it to be Satara, but quite honestly, as you attune, it takes you over. It takes over all your senses. You smell the salt that is the sea. You feel as if water is cold, clammy water is clinging to your entire body. You hear that lapping of waves, and it completely takes you out of your element to where you know she is close and present, but where she is or how to get to her is not possible, especially with her laughing ringing in your ear.
Yeah, I think I'll just take out my lightning hook, sort of like drag it behind me, and just walk to the center of where we're at.
Okay.
And just realize that maybe she can just come to us.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything?
I'll as he kind of goes in the middle, I'm actually going to start kind of like circling him. Mm-hmm. And I'll just say, not like loud, but I'll just say, look, we came all this way, and we know what you want. You know what we're here for. Let's not waste each other's time. You've been waiting all this time so long. What is time to you anyway? Come on out. Let's have a chat.
Preacher, you hear, yes. What is time? Take the back stairs down. I'll be waiting below.
I think my head would just snap up and I just start walking.
Hey, did it work?
She's this way.
So, like, if she's this way, is this one of those things where we should go, like, the opposite way?
There's no turning back now.
All right.
I don't think we have a choice.
I meant, like, if they, go down this go down this hallway. Okay, cool. Let's go down this other hallway. You know what I mean? All right.
You can meet me anywhere you like in between.
From what I heard, once you're in the demon's home, you have to follow its will. It says to go down a hallway, you go down a hallway.
She's
Miss
the one I
Corbin.
want, regardless. So,
As you say that, a single drop of water falls from the ceiling onto your shoulder. Drip. Where do we go?
I fell a breach.
Okay. Preacher, you almost innately now, you've been given the key to come down. And you can feel her presence. You can feel her presence down below. So as you walk toward the back of the house, the manor, you go past room after room that would have been stately at one point in time. Lots of different things happening here. It looks mold and mildewy. There looks to be that water has gotten in here. It looks like the aftermath of a flood, a house after it floods, and it just feels oppressive in here. As you walk down a long hallway through the kitchen, there's a stairwell that leads to the back, and almost at the top of the stairwell, you can already start to hear the drips of water as they drip. Almost after a rainstorm, if you ever hear a gutter as it pings and drips, you hear that, but it's a multitude of them. It's not one, it's many.
I think I'm just walking with purpose. Nothing is going to slow me down. Nothing is going to distract me at this point.
I'm taking my time to, even though I'm following him also with purpose, but also just keeping an eye on the surroundings.
Okay.
Corbin's gonna have that same, just like on edge look, following behind eyes, but she's clutching that spirit bane charm around her neck.
Miss Fritter, are you last?
Probably, yeah.
I think maybe there's a fatigue that if anyone really looked closely, Miss Fritter, they would see. A fatigue if someone stayed up late doing something that everyone else, while you may have not gotten a good sleep, they certainly weren't out trying to prevent a war or doing all they could to stop a war. Let's flash back there real quick. Miss Fritter, once again at the top of the stairs, closes her eyes, puts her hand up against the side of the stairwell before she leans down, and her mind flashes back to last night, sitting with Bazo Baz in his command center, in his headquarters, and Bazo saying that he didn't know how to take care of Lissa. They had too many people. The Crows had too many people. They were too well armed, even without those guns that you all took. That because they didn't have the guns is the only reason why the Lampblacks are able to keep up with them at this point. But that he knew he was a man who knew his end was near. What does Miss Corbin? What does Miss Fritter do? I apologize. What is Miss Fritter doing at the moment?
So the flashback to being in Baz's office, where this boy that she had watched grow up, her friend's son, is thinking this is his end, knowing Lissa and her history. Fritter made sure that Bazo was clean, like his wounds were tended to, and we'll tell him to keep the office locked, and we'll leave and head outside to Lissa's and to her primary camp. I assume that when Fritter gets outside, she is met with crows that are observing her, but not hostile immediately.
Correct.
And she can easily make her way to Lissa, which is when they have their confrontation.
Okay. I think it's actually Clinton, the gentleman we saw a few weeks ago at Old Man's Place, who met with you, who actually sees you as one of the frontline warriors for the crows. He is out and he looks at you and he takes a second glance and he says, "Ma'am, what are you doing? Why are you here?"
The time has come, Clinton. Time has come.
You want to see her?
I do.
Okay. He turns around and basically he looks around it. There are lots of other crows around. He looks around at a few, giving a knowing look, and you maybe even flash back and see younger faces on older people now, people that you know. And he turns around without a word and escorts you through as if a man who is asking for someone to give him guff about it, as if someone who is asking for something to just please say something. He's in that kind of mode. You find Lissa in a small tent, 100 yards away or something, and Clinton walks up to the tent, sticks his head in, and you hear words exchange, and you hear Lissa say, "Well, send her right in."
As okay, I'm gonna try to behave. I thank Clinton, and Fritter goes in.
Okay. At that, I think we flash back to the present, flash back to tonight, as Miss Fritter catches her breath once more and prepares and steels herself to do something nigh on the impossible, just as she did the night before. Preacher, slowly make your way down the stairs. It's a winding stairwell. It leads a whole stairwell down and then around the corner and comes down into this open area. You hear water, what you thought was small pings of water, small drops of water. It's actually water lapping up against the side of a stone basin. You could see what this is. This was a larder of some kind. It's a large open room, probably 40 by 50. Takes up most of what the basement would be, where they kept things in. There's also it is also a back way to where the moat was and into the river itself. So you see river water lapping up inside of this, as if they could take boats inside of their own, like drop-off boats or yeah. Come on, what am I trying to think of here? Like when you have supply boats that you can bring in into the outside. So there's doors on the outside that are held wide open. The river is lapping its way inside of this room as well. Probably 10 foot in, 10 by 10. It's a little dock area, and then there's stone floor as far as the eye can see. And on that stone floor, everywhere you look are buckets, cups. Anything that can possibly hold water is currently holding water all around this room. And there are lights and candles, probably 10 to 15 candles all about this room. The reflection off the water makes it seem very strange. It's a weird light as it bounces around and hits different puddles and different wine glasses. There's everything from the fine wine glass to a rain barrel that they've had filled with water, all filled with water. And from the ceiling, you see water continuously dropping, drip, 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 all in these all in these containers all around the room. And you hear a soft melody being sung up toward the front, one that you know well, one that you know Satara used to sing even from inside of you, an old song. It has no words. There's no words that you all could possibly understand what the song actually was that she would sing when she was content. What do we want to do?
I think I would just stop at that point and just stare in that direction. Fingers like relaxing and tensing against that lightning hook that's in my hand, trying to prepare myself for what I have to do next.
So everyone, you see preachers stop at the bottom of these stairs and tense. You may even hear the singing, the low singing of someone, beautiful voice, almost melodic, as it hums a tune that you can't quite place. And without looking up, the figure in the far corner seems bent over doing something. As she stares down at the ground, something is on the ground. She looks up and says, "Elias, come now. No need to be shy. You can even bring your friends."
So are we doing this or what?
Doing what? We've been doing this for, what is it now, a couple decades? What do you mean by this?
And I think that he would just start walking forward, trying to come into her actual visage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you walk around, you all, as you kind of come down the stairs, you see the same thing we just described to Preacher. There are barrels everywhere, large wine cask, small rain barrels. There are barrels everywhere. So you see glints of this person through the candlelight, through hinting off the mirror sheen in water. You see hints of them as you go around a corner and around one wine cask, and can't quite make out what's going on. And as you step into what is probably a 20 by 20 area in the back part, you see that they've closed in an area that has these large barrels, and you see what you know or seem to be is the demon Satara. So Satara is a water demon. She takes on the sheen, not of water as you see it today, not of the river and the inky green, gray muck. She takes on the sheen of something bright green and vibrant blue, like you'd see in the Caribbean, in today's Caribbean. It is breathtaking. It is not something you didn't know water could come that color. What I'm asking is, I would like each one of you to tell me something else you notice about Satara. What's the first thing you see about her? She is vaguely humanoid, but can be anything that you all want. What do you notice?
I think that she has taken the face of Elias's wife just to fuck with him.
Okay. Yeah, it's rippling with water, but you see she's trying real hard to be a specific face, and that face definitely has the cheekbones, the nose, the eyebrows of someone very close to you, even your wife. You don't know if she got that from where, or if she's looking down at if she got that from Ezekiah, but definitely. All right, who's next? Face of Preacher's wife.
I think, just from a takeaway perspective, that the thing that's the strangest thing that, like, from I's perspective is that there's beauty in insanity and madness, and though demonic has been expressed to him, there's some beauty in this, overwhelmingly so.
Absolutely, yeah. Between the complexion, the color, there is not a horrible monster as you see. It is a beautiful figure.
Where he was expecting like something like acrid and dark and black.
Yeah,
It's more azure blue and light green.
absolutely. Absolutely. You can almost see through the water as if you're looking through like 10-foot water, it can see down and see coral and fish and things. You make when she ripples, when the water around her ripples, you see those things as they go between as nothing you all have ever seen. All right.
Can I take this opportunity to flash back before we continue?
Yeah.
So, going into the situation, Eyes is very much a we'll do it live, but this is completely out of his, it's otherworldly, literally. So, and I don't know if because I've been looking at like arcane implements, I think is the word.
Yep.
And I want to see if and this is something we probably could have done like for a downtime, but I want to understand what hurts demons and use that and implement that from a bullet perspective, whether that's electroplasm bullets or fire or yes and yes, that kind of thing.
The quick answer is not much. Demons are old, ancient creatures that have hoarded the information. There is very few cases of people walking in and confronting a full demon and living. There's not like they are weak to this. It's not much. You know that they have super strength, and you've heard that they can bounce around from element to element. You've heard that they can be hurt by certain things, but you have to get lucky, and it's almost like trying to kill something with 1,000 strokes instead of just one. There's not something that just hurts a demon. You could take away a source from them, or the source that's around. They get power by whatever they're sourced with around them, as well. So those are all kind of flash things, and we can make them up as you're going through what you're going to do. We can flavor it or picture it to whatever you do, depending on your roles. So we'll use that accordingly.
Got it.
All right. What does Miss Fritter or Miss Corbin see when they see Satara?
I think Miss Corbin sees something that resembles her mother, but it's vague and kind of fuzzy enough that like you don't necessarily remember. It's like
was it the song?
It's a picture of a memory. Yeah. Like it's
maybe it's a song. Maybe that you could remember your mother humming to you. Not that song, but it's still that soothing, calming presence and voice, or it's a slightly maternal look in this person. It's also power and someone that you innately want to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And Miss Fritter?
Question.
Yes.
Do we get a sense that this is water that's in all of the containers? There's no like noticeable odor or anything that might be indicative of something else?
Not at this point. No, it's so overpowering. You get the sense that it's not fresh water. You feel like it's salt. It's seawater, and so the brine is overwhelming. But you get a sense that it's water. I mean, you could probably, as you're walking through, you're looking at some, maybe even put your hand on one. It comes across as extremely salty, stale water, but it's still water.
What Fritter notices about Satara is what a disappointment she is. She's just utterly disappointed in what she anticipated to be a powerhouse of an entity. It just looks pathetic and weak, like it's constant need for preacher's attention and despair is just so boring. And so she just looks pathetic to Fritter, in that she seems like she's not quite fully formed yet. She's amorphous. She's not a cohesive, put together, assertive package, which is what Fritter was expecting.
Absolutely. Yeah, you thought your deed the seaman would be here and you'd be overwhelmed at its very presence, and this just isn't.
It's kind of a letdown.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. So Satara looks up, and she has her impossibly long arm trailing to a body that is at her feet, candles surrounding it. And she says, Elias, we could have been so much. It took me years to get this one where I needed him to be. And now we're almost done.
Did you kill him?
Is he dead? No, he can't be dead for this. You know this, Elias. You know this, but he has willingly given himself to me so that I can become into my true form.
You know that he didn't accept you willingly the first time.
No, I was a gift.
I suppose in a sense you're right. So why don't you let him go and let me take his place?
Just come get him.
I'll get him.
So just put a hand up. It's all right, Pi. And I'll approach.
Okay. As you approach, you see the young man where a boy once sat, where a boy once called you dad or called you pop or called you whatever it is that he called you. You see a young man formed with those same cheekbones of your wife, the same nose, the same jawline. He is every bit of young preacher and of your wife at the same time. He is the best of both. And he lays there in a sleep-filled haze. He looks fine for the wear. You do notice that on his left arm, there are marks that look amazingly now like your marks on your left arm. Except there's one single slash mark that has to be completed to make the ritual complete. And she says, see, your boy is just fine. Now, I know you have the knife. Care to complete it? For old time's sake? Just release me. Release me and I'll go.
I think we both know that can't happen.
You were never any fun.
Yet you've pined over me all these years. Can I actually bend down and check on him to see if he actually is still alive?
Yeah. You bend down. Tell me what happens.
I say I would probably kneel down next to him and just sort of brush his hair to the side. Slowly, check his neck just to feel for a pulse. And it'd probably be really faint. And look down to his wrist and look to mine. Stand up.
She says, I'll give you one more chance. Release me through him. Do what's right this time. You failed last time.
Eyes. Can you give me the knife, please?
It's your call, man. And then that self-sacrificial bullshit today.
Just sort of extend a hand out, just staring in his eyes.
I break eye contact with him, and I'm actually looking up and around just to see if there's other there's stairs up above or anything like that.
Yeah, there's probably some stairs behind her as well that would have come up, not in the kitchen, maybe outside or something like that. Then there's a stairwell that you just came in on behind you.
Yeah. Actually begin to walk towards that area. Yeah, it's not gonna happen, Preach, and you knew that when we walked in here. So are we doing this thing or not?
Miss Corbin, can you make me a check to look around you as you're standing in the back? What would you be doing at this moment?
I think she'd be. I imagine she brushed up a little bit on this demon before.
Mm-hmm.
And she's looking around and she's trying to look for any signs, anything that would enlighten her on how the situation is going.
Okay. That sounds like a survey to me, but if you think it's something else, please tell me what it is.
That sounds like a survey, but I will take I'll push myself for that.
Okay. Sounds good. So 2 stress. And for everybody at home, all our characters are starting with 0 stress. So let's see what happens.
Position?
It is risky.
Okay.
You all starting. Your first roll will always be what it is on the engagement roll, so it's risky and standard effect.
Risky and standard. All right. That's not quite as bad yet. 6.
Oh, a 6. So in your studying up, you know that demons like to be surrounded by what they are. They like the feel and maybe gain. There's different people that say different things. Some people say they gain power off of it, the element that's around them. Some people say they're able to use that element, whatever it is. And I think at one point in time, Ms. Corbin, you're looking down at the barrel, the rain barrel or keg that's kind of beside you, and you notice inside it there's a figure in there, down deep in the bottom of this thing, kind of like sitting cross-legged on their butt in the barrel itself. You can see it when the light hits just right and flickers off one of the candles. You see the hair waving at the top.
She'll look at Miss Fritter and Eyes. We're not alone here. She brought her disciples with her. And she'll lift the lantern.
As you lift the lantern, you can look down in to see the other kegs around you. The ones that are surrounding this area all have figures down in the kegs themselves. And she says, they wanted to give themselves to me. How could I say no? But if you won't, I'll have to take it.
And this is where my idea was going to pop up.
Okay, so she is about to start something. What would you all like to do? I'll give you all a
I am going
chance.
to use my Tempest.
Okay.
I'm going to bring the temperature in this room to fucking freezing.
Okay. All right. So you push yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing you do, you stand up, you push yourself, and then what happens? What does it look like as things become much, much colder?
I would say that he was standing there, like, looking to Eyes, holding his hand out, like, and just sort of nods to him at his response. Like, okay then. And he just turns to Satara and raises a hand. And the veins in his arm grow black, and the whole skin just takes on like a icy pallor, begins to frost over as wind and snow just begin to plummet from him like a source, and sort of powers up and out from him. Doing my best to try to freeze all this water that's in this room.
Okay.
So that woof, 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 woof sort of deal.
Everybody, as this snow and ice starts to form, it skims the tops of all these kegs. It hangs and clings on Satara and forms icicles down her fingers, makes like almost sharp claws as she comes across. What is everyone else doing? I'll give you a chance to do something before she goes.
Do you want me to go and roll for this now?
Is it just push yourself? What is it? What are you pushing yourself to do?
So just to freeze the room is what I'm trying to do.
Okay. So what are you going to do? Roll to do that.
I usually use a tune, but let's see. I don't know that it actually like play that way in this case.
Yeah, I don't know that it would. Is it I mean, I could see it being almost, just about anything. Is it like are you trying to use it like a weapon? Are you trying to use it like a study to freeze the tops of the kegs? Are you trying to wreck things? What is your intent?
Definitely not wreck. Like I said, my intent was literally just to freeze the environment around me.
Okay. What did you want mechanically to come from that? Did you want to slow?
Well, when it's to slow her.
Okay.
And two, it was because I realized with all this water around, I'm sure she has some sort of. It was either like some sort of attunement that she uses to it, or something that binds her here, or something. I don't know exactly, but I was either going to blow them all over, or I was going to freeze them all over.
Okay.
So I just don't know which skill is going to really placate that.
If you want to, you could just make a fortune roll as well. Let's call it a 2-die fortune roll and just see what happens.
Okay. See how well my rolling's gone tonight.
Yeah.
Even it.
A 4. So a 4 is a success. But I think it has a complication. I think what happens is it has a lesser effect. For Satara, you do see that ice and everything starts to form. Actually, no. What happens is this snow and ice are everywhere, and now you all have to contend with it as well. You are not prepared for sub-freezing or freezing temperatures, and so now it has become super cold in here. Just like they're going to have to contend with it, you all are going to have to contend with it. So I think for things physical-wise, you may take a die less until we can get this kind of cleared up, and they will as well. Okay, they're going to have a lesser effect, and you're going to take a die less, have a lesser effect. All right. Who's next? Who's doing something?
So, kind of seeing this go off, and hearing Ms. Corbin, I'm looking towards these barrels, which were, I believe, at least in my mind, shrouded in darkness until a little temperature frostiness. So
right.
What do I see now? Are they just kind of huddled there?
You see that there seem to be barrels ringed around, like you all stepped around a maze of barrels, and this last is just kind of a ring of 10 to 12 barrels as they stand probably a couple of feet across and 4 or 5 feet tall, almost like they've set this aside as a room, like to cordon this area off. So you see 10 to 12 of these barrels.
Okay. So I'm So, but I do see the contents. There are people inside of them. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'll actually just like scream out to all of them. I want to make sure that they hear me, and I'll just say, and as I'm getting to walk up as like the begins.
Yep.
And I'm actually gonna shoot out two pistols and kind of clink them together. This is the sound of your death. You have one chance right now, because unfortunately, you won't be around to see what happens with your crazy demon bitch friend. So, and there is nothing after this. There is no afterlife. There is no demonic embrace for you. Damnation comes for you now. And I would like to essentially sway them to get the fuck out of here.
This is going to be risky with 0 effect at this point. You have to push yourself to be limited. Again, these you're not even sure if these are alive.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and I'm making an assumption here
Okay.
based off of what we're seeing here. And yeah, I'm definitely pushing.
Okay. So Miss Corbin, Miss Corbin or Miss Fritter, who's next? What are you doing while we're getting this roll?
Okay, so I'm going to have. Oh, okay.
You're fine.
I'm gonna have. I'm gonna do a little bit of flashback. I am going to pull in a favor from one of my spirit warden friends. Anything that can help with Satara.
Yeah.
It's nothing that can contain. It's just something that would help.
He tells you, he kind of laughs and jokes, the spirit stuff, the normal stuff doesn't do much. He said, I mean, if you had some raw electroplasm, that would really sting him, I've heard, but I mean, who has that? I mean, no one's got that kind of stuff. But that if you can get some of that would put a hurt. We've had to. That's what we usually do to cremate the bodies and cremate when we've had to deal with demons or their ilk in the past. That's what we've used. And you so happen that in the first adventure you remember getting some of that. All right, so back to Eyes. Eyes, you say that, and you now notice that basically what happens is these figures stand up within the barrel, and you can see that they're actually dead already. They're bloated, and they're basically just corpses. They don't listen. Okay. Miss Corbin, what would you like to do?
She'll take out from her case in like a little protective box. She'll take out that vial, and she'll also take out a little silver astrolabe, something else she got, and she'll say, "This is from Aruvia, one of the lords, one of their relics, silver flame. Its power can't reach here, but it sure as hell can dampen yours." And she'll kind of hold both of them.
Okay. And Miss Fritter?
I'd like to have a very quick flashback, if I may.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very quick flashback to earlier in the day when Fritter met with someone that she knows. Don't really have a good title for him other than maybe the extortionist.
Okay.
In which she arranges for the demolition of the manor. And that she extorts the city might be the right word. Landowner.
Okay. The ward, yeah.
Sure. The dilapidated
council.
Building needs to be demolished, and she expedites that to same day.
Okay.
And so that's her flashback, and that she is aware that by the end of the hour, they're going to be planting dynamite around the structure. So
I think they already have.
Oh, fun. Okay, great.
Yeah, I think they already have. Let's get that roll. So let's see how that roll went to see if I can use it to complicate y'all's lives.
Wreck? Is it a wreck or is it?
I think this is talking. This is the interaction between you and them. So what
talking with purpose.
Right. Command, consort, or not consort because they're not a friend. Command, sway.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Command's fine. So it's risky and standard.
Yep, risky and standard, absolutely.
but I do not have any bonus die because we're all affected. Oh no, wait, this was before that happened.
Right,
Never mind.
this is before, yeah.
I'd like to push myself
Okay,
if I don't
absolutely,
mind.
A
Yeah,
5.
5.
So you know that it's going to happen at some point in time within the next hour, at some time.
Okay.
As you walked in, I think you may have peeked your head around the corner and noticed that there were these small blast charges that are set throughout the house, that have been set up there for a while that you've expedited. Okay.
Cool.
And now we get to Satara's turn. Ah, yes, the demon gets a turn. Satara looks at you all and says, if you won't give it, I'll just take it. And she reaches out her hands and draws forth your life essence. So it's kind of like a layer action. You're all going to take level 1 harm, unless you resist. You take a level 1 harm automatically as she draws moisture from your very body. And then, in that same motion, she lifts up her hands, and you see the bodies of young people slowly start to make their way out of the tubs that they're in and clambering over them. Each one of them has a ritual scarification mark on their arm, just as if you'd seen a couple of different times now. And they are definitely dead as they pass on, as they get out of these tubs and start clambering their way towards you. And she says, she looks at Preacher and says, "Care to finish what we started?"
Before we get into that, what are we using to resist?
Sorry. This is going to be... This is going to be prowess. Prowess resist. Resist consequences from physical strain or injury. This is like a strain. So if you choose to resist, you can.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, so you take 3 stress. Prowess, Miss Fritter takes 1 stress. Eyes takes no stress.
Prowess, all right.
You can always just take the harm.
Okay,
And you
there
take
you
no
go.
stress. Damn it. All right. So the most I did with some stress. That's fine. I like stress too. She reaches out to Preacher and says, "Care to finish what we started?" And before you can even blink, she's right next to you.
Okay.
All right. Let's keep in that same turn order with we'll go Preacher, and then Eyes, and then Miss Corbin, and then Miss Fritter. What you see, how things have changed is now the demon is face to face with Preacher at this moment. There are several bodies. You're probably looking less than 10 that are coming out of these tubs at you, and Ezekiah is laying on the floor.
Okay. I think my intent is going to try to just throw her off of what's going on right now.
Okay.
So in response, I think Preacher will take one of the knives that he has. He will lift his arm and slash to try to complete the ritual sign on his arm. So
on your own arm?
On my own arm.
Okay.
And be like, "Is this what you want? You want my blood?"
Okay.
And if she makes any nod or something like that, I'm going fucking crazy here, guys. I'm sorry. It's if it's blood that she wants, he'll just be just start stabbing.
Holy
just to
fuck.
just to throw her off enough to where we can. And if I have to take harm for that, I have no issue with that.
I do. I think you take level 1 harm.
Okay.
I don't think you are able to resist this. I think this is absolutely level 1 harm.
I haven't. I don't even want to resist it. That's how insatiate I am with it.
So it does throw her off, and where do you think she was about to strike you? She instead reaches out to one of these stab wounds with her icy cold hands and kind of puts her finger on the wound, and you see the blood that comes from your chest almost congeal on the end of her finger. So you have bought yourself time that she's trying to figure out what in the world's going on. Okay. Eyes.
So hearing that insanity, and I have to imagine it's a literally quite the splash for her to move like this, even though he's close to the barrels, seeing that shift, he'll spin around and seeing Preacher, he'll actually draw the dagger and begin to like sneak his way forward, and he's gonna try to stab her in the back with it, stab her in the water with it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right.
Fuck
so what is that? What is that going to be?
That is a prowl AF.
Okay.
And let's go wild here.
Would I be an assist in that case?
Yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like it feels very
Give us
assisty
stress.
to me. Standard effect.
This is your first roll, yes?
Second. Well,
Second.
Yeah. Is it? I don't even
I think it's your first. Risky. We'll do risky.
Oh no!
and
I tried to sway a bunch of dead people.
Yeah.
So,
We'll do risky at this point.
Okay, and then effect standard.
It is going to be. Wait, you're using that dagger? It is a standard effect, yes.
Okay, wonderful. And then a bonus dice.
Also, for those not playing or those playing our home game, I have an 8-turn clock called Demon If You Do that we're going to start filling out to take care of Satara. 5. Oh, lovely 5. So tell me what happens, and I'll tell you what happens.
So, ladies hurt. No. So as I take it with my left hand, and I just like I have no idea if this is going to work. It's going to be a really good story one day, and I actually like take it, and I'm just going to try to drag it all the way through whatever blob of water that she is, and also like I also kind of take. And I have a thing of Let's see. I don't think this is how this works, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I think it's interesting. And like if it like makes a decision, which I assume it does, I'm actually gonna pop a Spirit Bane charm and put it inside of it.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna do 1 tick of the clock because that was a success on standard effect. So you do those things. She stabs and she calls out in this maddening kind of sound as if she's feeling pain for the first time. Not at the spirit charm, but absolutely at the dagger.
Okay.
And with a quickness you can't even understand, she spins and says, "I'll take that," and grabs the dagger. You can resist if you like. This is almost like a physical push or pull.
100%.
She wants this dagger, and she wants it very bad. You can resist taking it. That would be again a prowess because it's physical.
Okay. Got it.
Or you can let her have the dagger, of course. I'll let you choose.
Yeah, she can totally. No, of course not. Yeah. Not great.
Okay, so you're taking 3. So, all right. So you stab at it. The Spirit Bane charm seems to sink inside of her body and kind of float around. You know that dagger did actual damage though, and led to some pain. Miss Corbin, what are you doing?
If Satara kind of like after that interaction with Eyes kind of backs up.
She does not. She's standing right beside Preacher.
Okay.
You can maneuver yourself to do whatever you want to, though.
And I'm right behind her.
Yeah. Mechanically, just maneuver wherever you want to get the effect you want. Totally cool with that.
She'll like look at her and hold up the electroplasm. Demon or not, you still require a form. This will take care of it. Follow what we want. Or spend the rest of your time alone, isolated until you find another one.
She looks quickly at you and says, "I found what I want, and I'll take it."
You haven't taken it yet.
Okay. Are you doing anything?
I mostly just want her to be distracted.
Okay,
By
absolutely.
this electroplasm until
Okay. So
until
let's say
Preacher gets done.
that will take away. Yep, I'm fine with that. Okay.
Mhm.
And Miss Fritter.
All right, so we've got these 10 undead people, right?
Yep, roughly
That are
that.
crawling out. They seem like they intend to harm us.
I would say they don't want to ask you to lunch. Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't want to ask them to lunch either. So, I would like to. If I do a devil's bargain now, and I do the not to be trifled with, where I go all like rage hulky, that means that I would theoretically not be able to stop in the event that Satara inhabited, or like if something happened and suddenly like Satara was in Preacher, I'd have to kill Preacher too, right?
Yep. Unless you want to resist. So the two things are two consequences. You can resist them individually if you want, and that is what I can't tell friend from foe, and can't stop until they're broken. You can resist from the start. You can choose to resist one of those consequences.
Okay.
Or you can resist, or you can take either one. And yes, if she does inhabit them, you will know her. You will know him as her.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
All right.
We're gonna do it. And I'm gonna start going after the undead people.
Okay, absolutely. So go ahead and make your roll.
Is that? I'm not sure. What do I?
This is just going to be a standard. I mean, they're beings crawling out of tubs.
Just a wreck roll?
Wreck, yeah, wreck,
Okay.
skirmish, whatever you're going to do. This is going to be risky and greater because you're going to have greater effect being they're cold and they're a little slower.
And I'm super pissed. So I'm gonna.
You also have greater effect because of your rage.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just add some stuff to that.
Yep.
I got a 5.
So a 5 takes out 2 of them.
Yes.
But that cold water, you smash. Tell me what happens to take out 2 of them. Basically, what happens is that cold water splashes back on you, and makes it to where you're not taking any harm, but it's just not able to run around a lot because you're like knee deep in water as you're getting these kegs around you. How do you smash 2 of them?
Fucking muted, but I'm sure you all saw me say the word ladle. With my ladle, because they don't have brains anyway, so it really is just effectively just damaging their nervous system. So just straight ladle to the brain.
Okay, absolutely. 2 of them get bashed, and as soon as they ride up, it's like almost like Frogger, not Frogger. What is that? The whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole,
yeah. See the words. Good. Yeah, boats last week. So whack-a-mole, and you smash 2 of them back down into the kegs, and they kind of collapse in a heap. Okay, there's several more, though. All right. It is Satara's turn. Satara is she's not going to do the all-out attack this time. She's going to focus, and she's going to actually just hit Preacher and hit Eyes with 2 absolute hammer punches to the chest. You're going to take level 2 harm unless you resist. This is not a for real demon, but this is close enough to a demon that it still hurts real bad when you get hit. You can have armor. Remember, armor is a thing. You can also have that as well, but that is what she's going to do. And then she's going to lock on and try to get the dagger again.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take armor.
Yeah, I'm taking armor.
So she both punches, and the camera shows underneath where you have the armor on underneath your clothes. And then she looks and says, I'll have that dagger. I'm going to get another resistance check. Unless you want her to have it, of course. That's always an option. I just want to make sure I put all your options on the table, and just in case you're not aware. All right, to 1. So at the start of this third turn, where are we on stress?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so Preacher's at 5, Eyes is at 6, Miss Corbin's at 3 or 2? 3. And Miss Fritter?
4.
4. Okay. Just like to know those things. All right. She has now attacked a couple of you and tried to get the dagger back. Preacher, what are you doing?
real quick, I want to just respond to her.
Oh, yeah.
No, my dear. We're gonna kill you with it. You can't just have it. You have to wait your turn.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not real great at damaging things, but I think I might be good enough to at least give Eyes a better chance of hurting her. So I want to take this spirit hook I have, and as she's turned to strike at him, I want to try to wrap the hook of it itself like around her neck and to try to pull her back.
Okay.
Hopefully I can dig in some of that hook into her neck. But,
Absolutely, yeah.
So I guess that would just be a skirmish.
Yep. Sounds like a skirmish to me.
Okay, I gotta get +1 die since it's a fine lightning hook.
Yep, absolutely.
A 5.
That's a 5. So you wrap it around and go to pull and kind of pull her around. She takes one of her arms and reaches up and grabs the hook, and as she does, water travels down into the hook, and the electricity from the end of the hook travels through the water and shocks you for level 1 harm.
Wonderful.
All right.
I already have level 1 harm.
Do you have 1 or 2 level 1 harms?
I have 1.
Okay, so now you fill in the other one. So this may come up. This is the first time we've done harm like this. When you fill in, I got to shacking. When you fill in your harm, if you don't have any, and I call for that level, it actually goes to the level above. So you have 2 level 1s, 2 level 2s, a level 3, and if we hit a level 4 harm, well, then we'll talk about what happens then. So, all right. Eyes, you see that it has kind of opened her up a little bit. You're actually going to get an extra die or extra effect on this hit.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
All right. Yeah. I've been threatening, so I might as well do the thing. So yeah, I'm gonna essentially going to sort of like, to be very roguey here, like essentially disengage and like run around, and in the case that she can't like focus on me, just so I can use prowling again because she has no idea where the fuck I'm coming from.
Okay.
Can I help you Eyes?
Yeah.
I'll kind of like rotate, like
In
as you
front?
go that way. Yeah, just so like one of us like gets in her like area of view. Just
Yep, absolutely.
Right.
Yep, absolutely. Sounds great.
Beautiful. So risky again, I think.
Yeah, this is risky because she's not engaged with you.
Yep, standard, and then I get. It's like, do I get 2 extra dice or just 1?
You get 2 extra, 1 for the dagger, 1 for the position.
Okay, got it. Whoa! Let's go!
Hell yeah.
All right, that is a critical. So we're going to fill in 3.
Oh, that was loud.
Sorry. We're going to fill in 3 more of our things. What happens? What happened? You could tell she is, after what you do, there is pain on her face, and the confidence is not there anymore. What does it look like when you stab her?
What was the gentleman, the big guy that we killed in the bar?
Basilisk?
Basilisk.
Basilisk? Okay,
Yep.
cool. So I'll even just say it too, because I'm totally that dude. Kind of flips it around. Oh, the basilisk, and he'll like jump up and bring it all the way down as far as possible as he can, which is hilarious because like it's like the fastest elevator of all time because it's
Yeah, absolutely, it's water. Yeah.
But the actual like the way I see it is like I'm just I'm thinking very Water Temple Morpha right now, Legend of Zelda. So like there's like she's kind of vulnerable from from this particular situation, and is unable to take form.
Absolutely. Yeah, she it almost disperses a little bit. All right, Miss Corbin.
So when I stabbed, she's just going to, Satara, how about this offering? And she'll like just underhand toward her
Okay. What are you throwing?
the electroplasm.
Okay. So what are you using to do this? Is this finesse?
So once it gets close, it looks like I'm just like low hand, like lobbing it to her. Like I'm not like smashing it,
Yeah.
but like once it gets to her, she's just going to like do that little like wrist thing. Just gonna whip out that gun and just shoot it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That sounds good. All right. So is that skirmish?
That's skirmish.
Okay, cool.
And I am gonna push myself for this.
Okay.
Let's
While you're
go.
doing that, just a quick point, Nate.
Yeah.
The dagger is no longer visible. I'm putting it in, like, I want to make sure that it's not in my hand, which
Okay.
she turns to look at me.
Okay.
Yeah, and I positioned the way so I made sure that like Ice was
Oh yeah, yeah.
between
absolutely,
me and
absolutely.
between Sestaro block.
Yep.
Yep. So
Yeah, we're doing
position?
theater of the mind. So this is still risky. She's not hand to hand with you, so it's still risky.
Okay. Standard.
Yes, because it's electroplasm.
Okay, bonus dice. Let's do this. Come on. 4.
The 4. So it's still going to be 1. That's fine.
Mhm.
Still 1. It doesn't seem to have the effect you thought it was going to. It hits her and splashes onto her, and she screams, but it doesn't seem to have the effect. It doesn't. You thought that it would maybe go within like her bloodstream and basically encompass her, being water. It just doesn't seem to have that effect, but you still hurt her.
Yeah, pain is enough, and hopefully it gives Preacher enough time to do whatever he
All
needs to do.
Miss Fritter?
The disciples don't seem to be causing too much trouble.
No, they're about to go right now. They've
They're about to
crawled out.
go.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys kind of have this with her. I kind of like you guys doing their thing. But at the
It's
same
RPG.
time,
There's like 7 more forms.
I'm like, I've just got like such a desire to do just like some serious wreckage shit. But like, I kind of want y'all to fight her because I feel like you're doing a great job, and you got these other assholes hanging out, and I kind of like take care of it. I'll wait. I'll just keep fighting the
Smashing. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll just keep fighting those assholes.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna wreck their lives up. Risky, greater effect.
Yep.
And bonus die because of my
Because you rage. Yep.
I got a 6.
It's a 6. That's a couple more.
Okay, so
All
I
right, so
got
2 more. Look like there's probably 3 or 4 more left. That's it.
3 or 4. Okay.
They reach out. Ms. Corbin, you didn't notice that one was coming out to you and actually reaches out and like grabs at you. And is going to try to basically dig its ice cold fingers into your back. That's going to be level 1 harm.
Okay.
And then eyes, one is coming out from where you went around. One actually reaches out and grabs you, and is going to try to restrain you. So it basically, unless you basically have to take care of it next time, or to do anything.
Okay.
All right.
So it's not like resisting it. It's just grabbed me.
Right. Yeah. It's just grabbing you. Yeah. It's just going to harry you a little bit.
Okay, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
All right. And then Satara. Satara says, "Fine," and disperses almost. She like disperses, the form disperses and shrinks down into like a puddle. And you think, what in the world? And then you notice that each one of the kegs of water starts bubbling up, starts like boiling almost, and just expanding. Water starts to flow over the top of these things over and over and over again. You are rapidly filling up. This room is rapidly filling up with water. Preacher, what do you want to do?
Can I draw her back?
You're on mute. Ladle?
No. Yeah. I have a fine lightning ladle.
When in doubt, ladle.
Is there any way that I could attune to force her back?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to push myself.
Okay.
I am going to help you as well.
Okay.
So I'm gonna dig in the bag, and I have been given, as part of the arcane implements, there's like black salt. So I'm just gonna just like spread that, just put a big handful and just spray it in
Absolutely.
the area where Satara was.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, it trails down to one of these kegs.
So I'm using a tune. I pushed myself and I'm getting an assist, so that's 2 extra dice.
Yep.
Come on. Not 1, 2s, and 3s this time.
Oh god.
That's a critical.
Yeah!
All right. So what does it look like when
shit.
Preacher attunes to the spirit field and basically kills her in the spirit field, in the spirit realm?
I want to pull like a fucking Lord of the Rings type thing here. Like, like almost bamfing out of this existence and into a different existence itself. Like that green haze. And where she thinks she's safe, like Preacher just appears. And he's going to take these ectoplasm vials that he has. He's going to ram them into her and just crush them within her existence and let them implode within her and just sort of rip them back out again and just watch her form just fucking explode.
Yeah, the electroplasm that you crushed, along with the electroplasm that Miss Corbin crushed, along with the large slash down from the demon dagger, her form just becomes amorphous and then just explodes. So you are all hit with this wave of it's like being in the tide and having a wave come at you out of nowhere. Almost like that surprise, you're taking the selfie and the surprise wave slams over top of you. Not that I've ever done that, but out here it happens. And so each one of you, that's just summer things. Each one of you is slammed with this wave of pressure and water as her existence winks out. And the room that you are in is now flooded with water. It's actually up above where you can normally touch, and you find yourself swimming almost in this ice cold, frigid water, almost as if the river itself has come crashing into this. About that same time, you start to hear something, this trigger above you. You don't know what's going on, but the room and the building itself is starting to shake. What are you doing? As we do that, Miss Fritter, let's flash back one more time to what happened the night before. You walk into the tent. There sits Alyssa with a couple of her lieutenants around her. She sits there. She has plans of the building. You can actually look down and see the plans she has of the Lampblack's headquarters, and has X's where people are and everything, as if she has someone on the inside. And she says, "Well, never thought I'd see you here.
Why's that?
What business do you have it of us? What do you want?"
What makes you think this isn't my business?
I figured I have to dig you out of that rat-infested apartment you stay in all the time.
Okay. Haven't seen you in a while. You haven't come calling.
No, I
Figured
told
you
when
might
I'd
be
call.
missing me.
I haven't missed you yet. I haven't aimed for you yet. You're next.
Oh, you haven't aimed for me yet, but you thought you could steal these children away from me, and you could lie to them, and you could sequester them and isolate them and manipulate them into following you. But you haven't aimed for me yet. That's
what are you
right.
talking about? And as you notice behind you, Clinton has opened up the window, the cloth curtain that used the window, and is able to hear her words out there. She says, "What are you talking about?"
I know what you did, and I know that you took them, and you told them that I kicked them out, and you told them that I wouldn't protect them, and I know that you did that to them, and you made them leave.
I did nothing. You kicked them out. You told me that. Do not believe her. And she kind of looks up and she goes, "Don't believe her. She's lying."
Why would I have kicked them out, Lissa? They didn't do anything wrong.
Why would you kick any of us out? Maybe you were scared. I don't know what you think.
Maybe you killed children, Lissa. And that's why you deserve to leave. You didn't deserve to be protected anymore, but they did nothing wrong. You, however, have been nothing but pure evil and vile bullshit since the day you were fucking born. And your parents should have dropped you in that goddamn river when you were fucking born.
You don't know anything about it.
I know everything about it. I know exactly what happened to your parents.
Who cares? They're dead. They're gone. Whatever. I don't need them.
You're right. You're right. You don't. You don't need them. Because Lissa's always looking out for Lissa, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had to look out for myself my whole life. No one else cared about me. Doesn't matter. I took care of myself. How do you think I got here?
By lying and manipulating people who are weaker than you?
Absolutely. Just like you do. Yeah, absolutely. Just like you do.
Just like I do?
Just like you do.
Oh, do tell.
There's nothing to tell. You can't have gotten to where you got just because you've lied and manipulated people. Your little spies, your little people. Of course you do.
I couldn't have gotten to where I am, as in a retired lunch lady.
Come now, don't try to act like that's all you are. Don't try to act like that's all you are.
I'll tell you what, Lissa. I'll tell you what. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you didn't manipulate these kids to leave. But I promise that you will not leave here tonight, and you will not win this fight. And it's over for you. So you can leave Duskval with your tail between your legs, and you can survive, or I will make sure that you don't. And that's your choice. There, I'm looking out for you. I'm giving you a choice.
She stands up and she goes, somebody take her out of here. Why is she even still talking to me?
No one's going to touch me here.
I want you to roll. Let's roll to find out what happens.
What do you want me to roll?
What do you think this would be? Do you think, is this a command? Is it a sway? Is it a consort? Because you have friends and allies around you. You tell me what your intent behind Miss Fritter's words are.
It's like a challenge, and I guess that's a sway.
I could see it being any of them. So you tell me.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to me from like a numerical standpoint. Okay. So I'm just gonna push the fuck out of myself because Absolutely. I can't fail in this.
Absolutely. Okay.
And let's see what happens. I got a 5.
A 5. So I think she starts. So how it plays out in the camera is it's that old scene. She starts to tell people to arrest you, and they won't. She starts to tell people to like get you out of her sight. And as she looks to Clinton and she looks to others, and you turn around and notice that Clinton had actually opened up the curtain, and so everyone could hear what she was saying. That everyone heard that she's only out for herself. She sits there and she's trying to figure out what's going on, and she says, "You'll have your day. You have your day today, whatever. But you haven't heard the last of me. I absolutely think. Sorry, I've read something. You have absolutely not heard the last of me." And she gets up and she walks out like the backside of the curtain, and several crows go with her. But the majority of them are kind of milling about, trying to figure out what in the hell just happened.
So I have to let her leave. Effectively.
Do what? You can resist it. You can resist it. What do you want to happen to this? Do you want her to stay? Do you want to kill her? What do you want?
No, I want to kill her.
Okay. So
he just nodded. They're like, of course. You know the answer to this one.
As you do. So do you want to do it off screen?
We can do it off screen. That's fine.
So what happens later on? She leaves. She leaves with a small handful of people. The rest of the crows are standing around kind of aimless and listless, as if they don't know what to do or what's going on, as if they realizing they've been manipulated and basically taken advantage of. And I think Lissa goes back to the crow's nest that night with her small party. And at some point in time, Miss Fritter comes in and pays a visit. Sounds okay?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So we flash back. To tonight. the room is filling up very quickly with water. It is becoming to where it's hard to gain your footing. What do you do?
So am I still restrained?
No, you are no longer restrained.
Okay. I assume the bodies have now become bodies again. How's everybody looking, just from my perspective? I'm kind of looking around frantically as the water begins to rise. Is everybody okay?
It is hard to talk with all the water flowing everywhere as you hear more and more water.
Goonies.
Creature looks very hurt on first inspection. Fritter looks exhausted, as if she's been fighting for days. Miss Corbin probably looks still in control, but trying to figure out what's going on and how to get out of the situation, calculating what their odds are. What do you all want to do?
I'm going for the boy.
Okay.
How far away are we actually from this back entrance to the river?
One turn, basically. I mean, you can get out of it if you want, as long as there's no complications. So if you roll successful, you're going to get out. If you roll a complication, it's probably going to take you another turn.
Okay.
If you fail, then it gets bad.
So I'm a shredded mess right now.
Yeah, I would say absolutely.
So.
Right.
I'll rush over to the boy and kind of just grab him. Mm-hmm. And I'll actually like yell over the maelstrom. Pretty sure you better wake the fuck up. Let's go.
All right.
We ain't dying right here. We'll die outside. Let's go.
You hear what sounds like crumbling stone from up above you, so you know you cannot get out from up above. All right. So I'm gonna need everybody to make a roll. Let's see if we can get out.
What do we need to roll?
How would you get out? Is this?
I have my demolition tools.
I'm praying my way out of this. I know that.
If you can use something, if you want to use something in your arsenal to give you an extra die to get out, I'm perfectly fine with that. If that could be study, saying, yeah, I knew the blueprint of this place ahead of time. It's survey. I know the easiest place to get out. It could be finesse or prowl to use your physical ability to get out in some way. It could be wreck to go through the side of the frickin' wall. I mean, it's whatever y'all want to do.
Well, I think it makes sense Fritter knows the layout because she was extorting them to demolish the damn place.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
She knows that. And she's got the demo tools, so we can get out.
Okay. So why don't you go first, and if you succeed, you'll give everybody else a die.
Is it a greater effect?
Yes.
Because we be raging.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
We be raging.
Okay. So tell me how Miss Fritter goes through the wall or expands an opening to get through.
Miss Fritter is aware of the access point out from the basement that would get you out through into the wine cellar and get you out past the moat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you come back on the other side into like the gardener's shed type thing. There's a path that travels under the moat.
Yep.
And so she's able to access that. Okay. It's been like kind of not bricked over, but it's been forgotten, not taken well care of.
Absolutely.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. The water has kind of pushed away any kind of soddy brickmanship. I hope that's a word that's happened, and kind of push it out. So the force of the water, along with your demolition tools and just pure rage, has busted it loose. All right, so that means everyone else gets an extra die. Who's going next?
I guess I can.
Okay, Preacher, you're at. What are you using to get out?
Actually, I'm going to use my lightning hook. I'm going to hurl it over there to where this broken wall is, and hopefully latch on and just slowly pull my way out. Because I imagine I'm probably come up out of this water and like it's just like a shock wave. Like I can't hear anything.
Right.
It's a little foggy, and just one last desperation, I'm going to hurl that lightning hook.
Okay.
So we use a skirmish, I guess, for that.
Yep. Skirmish is fine. You're actually going to take one die less because you're down a die for level 2 harm.
Yep. So I'll take one die down, and I guess
one you get an extra die anyway for the assist, basically the free assist. So.
Yep. So
But you
that's-
get an extra die because of the fine lightning hook.
Ah.
So
Okay.
you would have gotten 2.
So
you
I'm
now
plus
get 1.
one then.
Yep, +1.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
116.
You're able to
That's
you're able
nice.
to grab that hook and troll your way basically over on top of the water, still holding up. All right, Miss Corbin and Eyes. Who's next?
I got my hands full, so I'll say Miss Corbin, you go for it.
I think she definitely did similar thing that Miss Fritters did by kind of memorizing the layout in case we had to like leave or figure out where this thing was. So
Okay.
in this thing, she finds like she kind of like under the water, kind of like knows what Miss Fritter's doing, and will follow that way.
Okay.
She's
Yep,
going
absolutely.
to like since the water is like kind of like going around, there's debris. She's going to kind of like close her eyes and kind of like rely on her information of the space and the layout to like kind of like know the direction where she's going.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's pitch black in here. All the candles have been let out. There's no light at all.
Mhm.
All right, roll it up. You get an extra die for Miss Fritter's assist.
Okay. Let's do it. Cool.
6. All right. So Eyes, let's just set this roll up real quick. You're the last one in there. It's pitch dark. You have your hands full of Preacher's son trying to get this unconscious kid out of here. As you hold him in your arms, you flash back to seeing your own boy, saving him, and having the last few days with him, talking and for the first time feeling whole. And you want that for Preacher. You want that very, very bad.
I need it.
What are you rolling to get out of here? You are the last one in here in a building that is literally coming crumbling around you.
So I brought with me some climbing gear.
Okay.
And so even though he's a big guy, I'm a tall guy, lanky. So I'll actually kind of take out a grappling hook and kind of towards the damage that Miss Fritter's been doing.
Okay.
I'll also kind of latch on and then tie it to maybe something on the that I maybe saw on the ground before.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's stones everywhere.
To give it some, and then essentially like I'm gonna have him over my shoulder and I'm gonna pull my way to freedom to speak.
That's fine. So what are you using to do this? What role?
Like I would like to finesse this.
Okay, that's fine. And you get an extra die for the Miss Fritter assist.
Okay, risky or desperate?
This is desperate.
All right.
Everybody take an XP for this last one. I should have said desperate from the start. So everybody make sure you grab an XP from that one.
Standard?
Yeah, it's you either do it or you don't. Standard's fine.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Ooh, that's terrible. Good lord. All right. Let's have some fun.
That was almost real
terrible.
real
Oh,
bad.
no.
That was super
Real-
fucking terrible.
real bad.
Let's have some fun, Nate.
Don't
All right,
kill my boy.
Consequence.
I mean,
What you
you
got?
tried to help. Satara killed your boy. It's just
Oh, this is bad. I
Wow.
think
No, we're not leaving him behind.
I think you drop him. I think the
Okay.
water. I think the water washes
Too many
over
things.
as you can resist.
Oh yeah. I've been talking all this shit about getting his boy back. You better believe it.
Oh, well.
how you doing? How you doing with stress? How you doing with stress?
Yeah.
I
So before you roll, where are you at on
Oh.
stress?
I have 3 more to go.
All right, you just
All right.
have to roll higher than a 3.
All right, so this is going to be as you start to pull at it, it's prowess. The water, just the wave after wave, and there's an implosion as the building literally starts to implode down the middle, and it starts to push you away, and you're holding on with one hand, trying to hold on to Ezekiah with the other, and he's getting washed away and will be washed out into the river itself.
Okay.
Let's roll it up and see how it goes.
What's his prowess again?
It's a resist with prowess because it's physical strain or injury.
Oh boy.
Please. Oh boy.
4. So you take
It's
2 stress.
Oh,
So you do it. So tell what happens. You set the scene.
Oh, okay. So I like kind of feel him go, and like I kind of lose slack on the rope a little bit, and like the water is kind of going from like waist high to probably shoulder high. Thankfully, he's a tall motherfucker. And like there's just a moment of just quiet, almost peace out of this. You promised no half measures. And I actually just like, I grab him and I think I lose my hat. I think it just falls off. And I see it just kind of go off. And I just keep going.
Absolutely. Perfection. So the water is rushing out of this hole. The actual building is starting to collapse. And at the very, very last second crawls out Eyes along with Ezekiah as he crawls out of this hole that Miss Fritter made. At the last second, the water pushes him, almost like shoots him out like you would a fountain. And you come up sputtering on the ground with Ezekiah in your arms.
Oh, got him. Oh. I need y'all to figure out like how to make me like feel like that was like really cool, so I could tell Joseph about it. If you just when you have time,
You live to fight and stare down a demon. I think that's enough.
Yeah, the details are important. You're right.
I think
I kind of like spit up a little bit, a bit of water.
I just see Creature like resting up against the wall, like blood running down from his ears and from his face, and he's just sort of like half bleary-eyed, like nodding at Eyes, like a silent thank you. Sort of beats his chest with his fist.
Right back at him.
Any other scenes that need to happen here?
What are we drinking?
I don't want to think about drinking at this moment. Exactly. We'll figure that out later.
You make your way wearily. You probably have your carriage down the street, parked at that house. You all waterlogged and cold. Get inside it, and start to make your way back to whatever your apartment or house that you're staying in tonight. Dropping you off one by one by one. And we're going to do our final scenes for here. So let's start with Eyes.
Okay.
You did it. You kept your promise. You saved your boy. You saved Preacher's boy. And you have a really super cool story to tell. And I think that Joseph is... Joseph. I think Joseph is waiting up for you when you get home. He got off and got brought home. Darlene went and picked him up and brought him home. He's waiting up for you. And as you step in, the first thing he says is, "Where's your hat?"
Well, kiddo, it's time for your old man to get a new one.
Yeah, I didn't like that hat.
What?
He probably really did, but because you lost it, he's trying to make you feel better. He's like, okay, I kind of did like it, but we'll get you a new cooler one. Yeah, we'll get.
What did we say about lying? I always know when you're lying, so like, why do you even try?
You say that I need to try better because lying is an efficient habit that we need to form early in our life to make sure we're proficient at it, so later on that we can make sure. And he kind of looks over at Darlene and goes, "We never do it.
We never do it.
Never do it.
Need to. Unless we need to." It's like in unison.
Yeah, exactly. Both of you.
Very practiced speech.
So what happens? What is the final scene for Eyes?
So he actually he's not one. He would never come into the house waterlogged. He is too fashionable for that. And I think that he went before he came home. He went to maybe a little grocery shopping. And,
Absolutely.
He's gonna make dinner for the fam tonight, and around, even though it's an itty bitty table, I have to imagine there's a good bit of kind of telling of the swashbuckling of today's adventure, and maybe there's a bit of eye contact between Darlene and Eyes. no words, just living, just in the moment right now, and
Yeah,
maybe there's hope for them.
absolutely. There's a soft knock on your door.
Really, can you get that?
Joseph goes and opens the door, leaves you a moment with Darlene, and she kind of looks over at you in that, yeah, you did it, kind of face. And he said, and you hear Joseph say, "Hi, Mr. Rigney, how are you? Come on in." And in steps Rigney from the two cats. Tall, dark skin, shaven head, big bushy white beard, very, very trim, very, very nice beard. Makes me jealous. Walks in, he says, "How you doing there, little man?" Talks to Joseph, and Joseph, "I'm good. You want to speak to Dad?" And he says, "I would like to, yes." So Rigney
Well,
walks in.
got a little bit of leftovers that I was gonna put away, but you're hungry.
No, I'm good. I'm good. He set in his bottle, in his right hand, he has a bottle. He sets it up on the table. He says, "I want to talk to you."
All right.
He says, "This is where we'll fade." With the last question, he says, "How would you like to buy the two cats?" And we'll fade out. All right. Miss Corbin, where do we find you?
First, I think there's a little bit of scene where Miss Corbin will hand, before she's off on her other errands, will hand Miss Fritter an envelope, like a large one,
Okay.
and she'll say, "Anything happens to me, there's addresses inside. You send this to them. Few men and the newspaper. Hopefully, we'll never need it, but it's always good to have insurance."
Understand. Be safe.
Of course. I have a meeting to go to. And she'll head to her first meeting with the Hive.
Absolutely.
Lord.
You meet at the door of the where the Hive headquarters is, which is somewhere deep within Night Market, almost probably at the top of one of these buildings, one of the new high rises, so they can look down at all they survey. Caius Finn brings you in, and she says, she greets you and says, "Look like you've had a long day. Are you okay? Are you ready for this?"
Yes, always ready. A little bit of a spirit problem, but nothing that couldn't be taken care of.
Understand. Well, this may be other problems, but we'll see how this goes. So she takes you upstairs, and you climb the stairs. I think there's probably an elevator, an old clunky elevator that is run by electroplasm. It's slow. It's kind of like the dumb waiters in old apartment buildings. It slowly brings you up. And at the top of this, you see that there is a large room that is nicely done, and there's a round table that people are sitting at. And she brings you in and introduces you to the people that are there. There are currently 3 other people there. There's some other people milling about, but they're probably fixating over little small things at the table or getting things set and then getting out of here. The people of note are a woman that introduces herself as Klain. She uses she, her pronouns. She's brown skin, black hair, wavy black hair. She has an electropowered mobility chair that she uses that runs off electroplasm that she uses to kind of get around a little bit. A younger woman, and very nice, bright smile. She welcomes you. She says, "Cass has told us so much about you. Welcome to the Hive."
Oh, thank you very much. This was a wonderful reception. Well, I hope this is profitable and fruitful for all of us. I'm sure we'll do
Absolutely.
some good work.
Yes, absolutely. Kes next takes you over to a person that they introduce as Knock. They use they, them pronouns. Dark skin, curly black hair, spills down around their shoulders, really sharp eyes, and they kind of look you up and down and says, "So this," they look and address Kes and say, "So this is the protege, the one that came from nothing to become something. I like her." They introduce themselves as Knock. I apologize. And small talk for a minute, no big deal. And then Cass says, "I gotta take you now to Dinar. Come, let's get this over with." She takes you over to a man who's sitting in the corner, probably by the large fireplace that is breathing out some smoke and fire, putting what little bit of warmth there is in the room. What does Dinar look like?
He's tall, kind of stern looking, serious man. Has long, instead of a full beard, has just like these long sideburns that kind of show like a decently strong jawline. He is wearing something that one would distinctly know as nobility. He comes from the aristocracy, whereas some of these people, the rest, are self-made or come from lower means. But instantly, you can tell he carries himself with a certain air. He just has like these steely gray eyes.
Daenerys looks over at you and says, "So this is the waif you've taken in. You think that they are ready for what we have to do?" Looks at Kess. And Kess kind of whispers as you walk over, "Don't mind him. He's old nobility and thinks he's more than what everyone else is."
Oh, I'd like to talk to him further. Do you mind if we have if I have the room?
Absolutely.
I'd like to chit chat with everybody.
Yeah, Kess kind of walks over. The room's big enough to where you can basically have your portion of the room and no one could hear you. He takes a little sifter of some kind of dark liquor and drinks a big gulp of it and kind of sets the glass down and looks over at you, says, "So you're the replacement. We'll see."
Improvement. I know you're probably unhappy about having another lowborn here in this council. I know it's a little step down from the city council that you're so used to. Probably see it as somewhat of a lowering yourself to be with us. I know.
He kind of chuckles and says, "Finally, someone who understands, even if it's about themselves."
No, I understand. I understand that you, as much as any of us, have aspirations.
You've heard this voice before.
I know this face.
You've heard the voice recently.
Where was it?
There was a man in a mask who made a drop-off very recently.
Mm-hmm.
He was dropping off something from to the grinders.
Mm-hmm.
Name is Loop. Supposedly a wraith. Mask, no one knows who they are. Sounds very, very, very familiar.
Yes.
And he says, "I've been doing some digging up on you. I think I have your measure."
Do you now?
I believe I do.
I know a lot about you.
I'm sure.
How much do you know about me, by the way?
Came from nowhere. Went to school on some false pretense. Made everyone believe that you're actually capable of going to Charter Hall when we know you're not. Probably cheated to get your grades. Maybe you got them. I don't know. You have some smarts about you. Look, somewhere back in your bloodline, there's some smarts going on there. I can definitely tell.
Certainly.
After that, mom and pop little things until you finally got a big break. I heard that big break here came recently at something about a racetrack.
Yes, the property that I run. Far better than that idiot that ran it before.
Well, we both agree to that.
Tell you something. If you know that much about me, how familiar do I look to you?
Does it really matter? And you kind
I
of,
think it does. And she'll take off her glasses.
you see, he stops and looks at you for probably the first time. He was probably looking at you from half side eye. He reaches around and grabs the alcohol and pours him another finger. And he fully turns your way with it in his hand and goes to take a drink and stops.
I'll lean close. Because I know that with all this pomp, all the superiority, all the nobility, all the noble drivel that you spill, you, my friend, like to base yourself with us lowers, and I know you've done it frequently, many times. You're a bloody hypocrite, my friend.
Whatever. Who hasn't? If you think that you're offering me something, you're young enough to be my daughter. Like I would care about that.
Funny. She'll take that locket that Miss Fritter and just like dangle it up. Does this look familiar?
You think realization starts to finally show on his face as he looks at you,
Ah, yes.
and he looks at the locket, and he takes the glass and swigs it back, and puts his hand slowly down to the side, and you hear the glass fall on the floor.
I'll say it if you don't. Eleonora, one of the servant girls, the one that you had killed because she tried to extort you. You don't clean up as well as you think you do. And I will not let you stop me. Because if you try anything, if any harm comes to me, I'll let them all know. I'm pretty sure your friends in the council, your rivals in the council, will be hungry for it. I look forward. Today I go to Charter Hall, stepping right over you, Father. And she'll stand and just like walk
he
out.
slowly turns to the fire and just stares into the fire as if he can do nothing else.
He's seeing you soon.
And that's where the camera fades there. Miss Fritter, where are you at?
I need a minute.
Okay.
I need a minute. All right?
Okay.
Holy shit. I need to write that down, first of all, before I forget anything. Fritter is at home at the moment. That's about all I've got at the moment.
So let's jump to Preacher, and then we'll
That
come
works.
back.
Okay. God, I gotta follow that. Okay.
I was like, I can stall, I promise.
Shit. So we're at the apartment in Miss Fritter's building, I guess we'll call it. Ezekiah laying on the bed, wrapped in blankets, still unconscious. And Preacher sitting on the edge, just barely, still probably soaked to the bone. The wounds on his body unattended still. His fingers burnt and black. And he's just staring down at the boy. And he says, slightly turning to the doorway, "How long are you going to be standing there watching us?"
Until I decide I can, or I should do something about your wounds.
Yeah, they'll be fine. He'll be fine. So, is this the end of our role in all this?
I don't know. You know what they say.
Rebecca, my wife, she she always knew what to say in these situations, and I never fucking could. But she said, "What feels like the end is often the beginning." What beginning is that for us?
I know I've known you a long time, Elias. And it isn't so much the beginning, but just a slight change of direction in the midst of.
I feel like I'm in Eyes' feet for a change here.
I'm sure there's some girls down at the way there if you want to be in Eyes' feet for a change. I think they're the same girls are still working there. We don't have a lot of turnover. They're happy.
I appreciate your humor. Just meaning that after all this time, I have my son back. But when he wakes up, I don't know what he's going to think or what he's going to say. I don't know if he's even going to see my face. He might not even want me.
That's unlikely, but I'm sure possible in some capacity. But I think he will be glad to be free from her and will be glad to see you in some way. And we'll figure out the rest of it.
I think my problem now is that I always thought if I did get him back, I'd quit all this, you know? Much like what Eyes had talked about. But I have to remember why I started to begin with. And he sort of looks her over. He stands and moves to her and takes her hands and squeezes them. If this is an end, I hope this is a beginning for something better.
She'll just sort of accept it and allowing him to like be that physically close to her. And just kind of like reach up and touch his face. Let me get you another drink. We have plenty of time now. And we have plenty of time with him. And we'll figure everything else out.
Squeezes one more time. Thank you, Miss Frida. I don't know where we're all going to end up in all this, but I'm glad that you're here with it in the end.
am as well.
I'm going to shut up so you can go get that drink.
Great. Awesome. Those flowers that you brought me are still in here, by the way. They actually have survived, amazingly enough.
I wish we were good at taking care of things.
Let me get you a chair, too. You might be more comfortable sitting.
Yeah. Maybe go for a doctor, too, if you don't mind.
Oh, shut up. I've got everything right here. I was just waiting on you to ask me to help you.
Yeah.
Just sit down. It's fine. It's going to hurt a little bit, but I'll like that part.
Oh, what the fuck am I getting myself into here?
Just the rest of your life, Elias. Just the rest of your damn life.
I smile warmly upon her. Let go of her. Turn back. Turn back to Hezekiah. And sit back on the edge of the bed. Pat his hair. Welcome home, son.
I think as the camera fades out, you hear, Dad? And that's where we'll stop.
I got the papers.
Oh my god!
Fuck me.
Yay!
Oh.
What's happening, everybody? Thank you all for joining us, for watching on YouTube, for watching everything, for being here for this whole show. We said from the start this is going to be a short run. We didn't know what was going to happen. We got into this understanding what was going on with the characters, the people. It's everybody's first time playing Blades in a longer run fashion, especially this way and streaming and all that kind of stuff. So, saying all that, we said this was a finale. And do you want me to say something or do you want to say something? Me? Okay. I think at this moment we are comfortable to saying that this was not the series finale. This was the season finale. We are going to take some time, as we encourage everyone to do. Take some time, take a few weeks off, and then come back in early January. We'll figure out times and dates. Going to be about probably the same run, unless somebody has an issue with it. And start up on season 2. We're going to give our characters some downtime so they can kind of figure out where they are, what's going on in their lives. We're going to give players downtime with the holidays coming up, and just to make sure this is something they want to still do, and make sure we all want to continue to play these characters and what's going to go on with the Ash Syndicate. But I can safely say that at this point in time, the Ash Syndicate will be back for season 2 in early January, and we'll be picking off with these characters or others, depending on what my players want to do and where things are going to go. I can only guarantee that they're going to get more and more just nutty from here, because now the players, we started this year with no one really understanding Blades or Dustfall or what's going on, and I think that these players have done amazing. Is not even the word for what they've done as being together. So at the end of this, it's like we've told a story already, but there's more to tell, and I promise you that they will get into just as much trouble, and there will be just as much drama that happens in this next season is here. So want to thank you all for sticking it out with us, for being here with us, for responding back to us, letting know, kind of your thoughts and how you felt about it. Love to hear your thoughts for this next season, what you think could happen and what's going on. But for now, for this season ending, I am Nathan. I've been your narrator. You see him pronouns. I can be found at Not Another Nate on Twitter, and would love to reach out and talk to you about this or anything else TTRPGs. And I will hand it over to Shauna.
Hey, oh wow, that was a hell of a finale, and it's been a wonderful season. I've loved everybody, and every session. It's just been just so good. I love y'all, and thanks to everybody for watching. But I look forward to next season. We have Miss Corbin has higher sights, and see what the crew wants, and maybe we can get some more high stakes heist going on, personal stakes as well. So yeah, can't wait. This has been so good. Thank you. Thanks for bringing me on. This was so great. I love Blades.
And we've enjoyed having you as well. Miss Corbin is a delight. You have been an amazing player. So we thank you for jumping in here and running with us.
Thank
All
you.
right. Jacob?
First of all, you guys are fucking unbelievable. Holy shit. Every Wednesday is the fucking best. Like my day begins with comics and my day ends with this. Like, it's fucking perfect. So yeah, blown away by all of you guys every fucking week. Breaks good. Breaks are good. Breaks are healthy. I'm really bad at taking breaks. It's going to be good, but I can't wait to see what we do next. It's going to be awesome. So, I am Jacob, Duval King Jacob on the internet, Twitter's and the Instas. Check me out there. I'm always yelling about something, like yelling about criticals, really too loud in the microphone. It's pretty on brand for me. So if you want to check that out, please do. I'll be playing a little bit of Chrono Trigger on my Twitch channel tomorrow, twitch.tv/Duval King Jacob. You can also find me on Tuesdays playing a little bit of D&D on Geek Attack on the Threaderers channel at 9:30 Eastern Time on Tuesdays. And also every other Sunday, Duval and Dragons is the game that I run, and also D&D 5e. So check that out. That's on Somatic Games' Twitch channel. Not this coming Sunday, the next Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh my God! How the fuck am I going to sleep tonight? What a magical experience. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you, boy. Thank you again for joining us, for jumping into a game system you had no clue what you not played before, and just jumping in and running it and playing it character wise, being in it all the time. Can't say thank you all enough. All right, Hannah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Hannah. You can find me on Twitter at StopTheDullWoman. I would just like everybody to know that I took 83 pages of notes during this season. I just counted them. And so if anybody's wondering what we rolled on that one counter on that one time,
Page 22, verse 5.
Yep, I know the line. I know what, my handwriting looked like that day. So anyway, this was fun. This was very fun. Great job, guys. You're all phenomenal. We had a blast. I totally thought that Miss Ritter was going to die by the end of the season, so I'm super shocked that she didn't. And look forward to what we do next.
Absolutely.
Who knows? Maybe Miss Ritter will not become tone down the rage killer machine thing when she's got to care for somebody else.
I forgot she was still in rage when we got out of there. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She almost I withheld the jumping on Ezekiah and smacking his face a few times to make sure the Satara hadn't leaped in there or something. I just thought that that was probably going too far. So, I found a line.
Hey, that works out. Yay.
Hey, 10 episodes.
and again, thank you, Hannah, for jumping in. Again, Hannah jumped into a one shot that I ran a while back. First run into Blades and said, "Yeah, I enjoy this. I enjoy this character. Can we do this?" Working out with Saevrick, that's what came of that. So thank you for jumping into that one shot and being willing to kind of push forward. That's really cool. And Mr. Fritter is amazing. So, and Saevrick.
Hi, everybody. I'm emotional right now. I was near tears at the end of that episode. It hasn't happened in a long time for me. Wow. God, I don't know what else to say. This has just been an experience. God, Shauna, thank you so much for coming into this. I know we had a short history with 10 Candles and a random Planescape game way back in the day, one shot. So for you to trust in me and come into this game, and I knew you would kill it. I had no question about that. I knew you'd fucking kill it. And I'm so excited for your character next season. Oh my God. I just saw Miss Corbin bloom at the end of this, oh, kind of moment, And, oh my God, it's going to be so amazing. I'm so stoked just for that. Jacob, thank you so much. Gosh, man. I know, I was like, well, we should get into a game. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, hey, I got this open. You jumped right in and took off with it, just like Nathan said. You've been an absolute fucking delight to have around. You're such a good dude. And, God, I can't put words to it. You've been amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I'm so happy that you've come into not only my game, but my life too. Same for you, Shauna, of course. I don't want to. You guys have been so wonderful. Hannah, I know that we have so many games together, but I'm so happy. We hadn't really played in a long time until 10 Candles, and it seems like we can't pry ourselves away from each other now. And that's not a bad thing. I really, really enjoy your company and your friendship. Really appreciate it. And you always make me cringe and or laugh every time we play. So you're an
That
absolute
is the
delight.
hallmark of a good friendship, Joshua.
It is, and I can say terrible things about you, and you don't get too upset with me. Nathan, thank you so much. I had expectations coming into this, but they were here, and where it ended up was here. Like, you've been an incredible narrator. You blew me away. You really blew me away. I already knew you were good from our one shot, but 10 sessions of this has just cemented the fact that you are one of the top fucking tier narrators out there. You really are amazing, dude. And I'm so thankful that you came in to take over this and run it and give me a chance to be a player, which is really heartwarming for me to be. Gosh, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Just thank you all so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Just to put a button on it, ladle tattoo definitely fucking happening.
The ladle tattoo. Yeah, so I guess I'll just say thanks for everybody who came in tonight, everybody who's going to watch this in the future on YouTube. Bonnie, I'm really sorry for kind of fucking with you in Twitter. I know that, like, you were like, finale? I'm like, yes, the finale. They happen, it's going to end eventually. Knowing full well that we were probably going to get to season 2 anyway. But I had to keep that from you. I'm sorry, but I hope it makes you happy. We always look forward every Thursday to see what you're going to say. Sorry you got to wait a couple more weeks, though. But we'll be here back. Yeah. Anything you all want to say before we head out for the night? No?
Have a badass holiday out there.
Absolutely.
Whenever you're watching this.
We're good.
Absolutely. All right.
Yep. Just have a good holiday season. We'll see you in January.
Yeah, we'll see you in January. Ooh.
Enjoy your pie.
Sorry. All right, y'all. We'll catch you next time. Take her easy. Bye-bye.